Good evening, fellow hunters. This is Jared the Lantern with another prop review video for you today. And today I will be reviewing the Sitting Scarecrow. This is from Tekky Toys, and this is a Spirit Halloween exclusive, brand new for 2016. This was one of the first sneak peeks of this year, made available through the website. And when I had first seen the picture on Spirit's website, I absolutely fell in love with the prop. I thought it looked incredible. It was definitely a different and unique prop. In fact, I liked it so much that I had originally ordered it through the Spirit Halloween pre-order, and the shipment date for it kept getting pushed back, so I went ahead and I canceled my order because it was going to be arriving right around the time that Spirit Halloween stores were going to be opening anyway. So there wasn't much point in paying for the shipping price if I could just go pick it up in the store. Then I had seen it in the store, and then I had a little change of heart. I thought that it was a little too small to be considered a life-size prop, which it really kind of is supposed to be a life-size prop. And then I thought that there were some aspects to it that looked a little weak and a little not as great as it did in the pictures and the videos that I had seen. And but there are definitely some positives to this as well. So let's go ahead and go over the positives and the negatives on this guy. One of the positives I've already kind of went over is just the concept of the prop. I think is very unique. It's different. It's a different kind of pop-up prop. There's a lot of pop-up props out there, but this one is completely different in the fact that it doesn't just simply pop up from, a standing position. It actually is, seated, hence the name Sitting Scarecrow. And I think that was just a really cool idea to have a prop that otherwise would look like a dummy that, people would just stuff together for their haunt. But at the last minute, it gives it a really good scare. And this is a really good scare prop. For one of the negatives, I would have to say is the lack of bulk in the arms. The legs really have a really good, kind of like a dense material on the inside. And you can really position them really well. And it's completely opposite for the arms. The arms are very, very flimsy, very, very limp, not stuffed well at all. I might actually go in there and restuff it to make it look a little more substantial, a little more, I guess, buff them out a little bit. I really wish that the arms were as full as the legs. I think that would have made this prop really, really, really stand out even better. The other thing that I really don't care for is the candy bowl. And that was a question that I had at the very beginning is that the only way to set them off? And that was like the biggest feature in the sneak peek video. They had shown the person that was walking up to the prop. They had to, actually put their hand into this candy bowl to set them off. And I just thought that kind of cheapened the prop. It kind of made it more of like instead of being a good quality Halloween prop, it kind of turned him into a kind of like a novelty prop. That might be redundant to some people, but it could have been a really good animatronic, and then you have the aspect of having the candy there, and I just wasn't really a fan of that. The last thing I want is visitors to my haunt touching the props, and so now you're actually telling them to touch the props by putting their hands in the candy bowl, and they're getting a little too close for comfort to the prop. And I would rather have an alternate way to set off the prop, and luckily there is, because he is also step pad activated. And that was like one of the biggest selling points for me, was the fact that he was step pad activated as well. And another positive is he also has a external speaker jack, and I'm definitely going to utilize that as well. And yeah, I don't have too many complaints about him. I definitely had some second thoughts when I had seen him in the store. Like I said, he wasn't as big as I thought he would be. The arms were not as substantial, but other than that, I think he's a great prop. I think it's a great scare. Above anything else, of all the stores, of all the spirit stores that I've been to, he seems to always be working, and I've never seen him not functioning correctly. And now spirit stores have been open for well over months, for a month in some places, and for him to be working and functioning as well as he is still, I think that's a good indicator that he will have a long life. So I know that you guys have seen him in action dozens of times, but just to complete my video, I'll go ahead and do the animation sequence here. So he's a good jump scare each and every time. Really good quality prop. In my original rankings that I had done of first in-store impressions of the props, I had him, I think, at like number 5 or number 6, and I'm definitely going to bump him up. I'm not exactly sure where, but I do like him a lot better than I did about a month ago. The one thing I did notice is that the sensor doesn't set off too easily. I was using just a little rolled up paper to see if I could send them off. I have to really get really close to the actual sensor, which is located in the back of the bowl. You can see that plastic strip in the back. That's where the sensor is located. And so that's even more reason for me to use a step pad. So I definitely will be using the step pad just to make sure he is set off, and also personal preference. But yeah, I think that this is an awesome prop. I'm not exactly sure if the bowl can be removed if you're going to be using with a step prop, or excuse me, step pad. But if the bowl does stay there, I'll probably put like a pumpkin in his lap or something, because it would just look kind of strange to have an empty bowl there. But yeah, but I'm very, very happy with this prop. Took a little time for me to decide to purchase it or not, but I'm glad I did. And other than two modifications that I'm going to do, one is I'm definitely going to bulk up the arms a little bit. Another thing I wanted to do is possibly change the hands to either put better looking stuffing, hay or whatever on the hands, or maybe even use gloves to make it look a little more realistic. But other than those two modifications, I'm very, very happy with the prop. Not too much detail, but for a pop-up, startle prop, I think it works well. And my goal for this prop is to put him in the Scarecrow tunnel, obviously, and have him paired there with another static Sitting Scarecrow, and then a Sitting Scarecrow that's actually an actor. So hoping that does work out that way, and we can have some really good scares with him in the Scarecrow tunnel. So thank you guys so much for watching. Oh, let me do my rating. On a scale of 1 to 10, I'm going to give this guy an 8. A very solid 8. I think he's a great prop, and highly recommended. I really appreciate all the fellow haunters out there that have been doing reviews, because it did help me make my decision, so I appreciate that. And I do believe he's sold out online, which is a good indicator that he's a pretty popular prop and a good quality prop. And again, of all the major new props this year, he's the one that's been holding up the best. Can't say the same for the Howling Werewolf, or the Floating Ghost Girl, or Boogeyman. A lot of those props they stopped working really early on in the season in various stores, at least that I've seen anyway. But this guy, the Sitting Scarecrow, has been pretty strong. So happy to add him to the collection. Happy to add him to the haunt this year, and looking forward to a lot of scares with him. So now, thank you guys so much for watching. If you like what you're seeing, please like, comment, and subscribe. And as always, keep it creepy.